This video is made with the sponsorship of Ecrotech New Zealand, one source for all your beekeeping requirements. Hi, Trev here from Trevs Bees on Facebook and YouTube. Today we're going to talk about assembling frames. Now I'm just going to show you one method that you can use if you don't have the equipment that I have. But I make assemble hundreds and thousands of frames. So I've got a jig and another system that I use, so I'll show you that also. I buy my frames pre-cut, boxes of 100, and I get them from Ecrotech, and the latest ones that they're supplying now are Maharangi frames, and I've found that the Maharangi frames are very, very good. They are accurately cut and nice and clean, and there's no defects in the wood. They're very nice. Now, just a couple of things. Nails, because we're going to make these by hand. I use 30mm 16 gauge nails to go through the side of the frame. So when that's in there, I actually put the nail through that way. Some people put them through this way, but if you do that, it's very easy for the nail to run off. And going down that way, they need to be pre-drilled. And they are 1.6 millimeters diameter, so they need to be drilled at 1.5. But they don't have the holding power when they go down that way. If you've got to cut them nail them this way, then you won't pull the top bar off when you're working the hive. And on the bottom bar, I use 20 or 25 mil nails. Again, they go in sideways. I only use one per side. Some people, when they're putting them in this way, use two. But I find that can split the wood. And you need longer staple nails. You need 40 millimeters. I also glue all my frames. And I use a waterproof glue. So you can use either Sally's Aquid here, which is exterior grade, or my favourite is Titebond. Titebond 2, this is premium grade. You can any of the Titebonds are fine. They're all waterproof, and they will last a long, long time out in the rain. So, without too much further ado, we're going to show how I make a frame. So I put the glue in a little container, and I slap a big lot of glue in there. This is Titebond that I'm using, and you can see that there is a lot of glue. It's got spillover on here. I don't care, the glue is cheap. That big bottle there is about $80. That makes a heck of a lot of frames. So just give it all a good tap to put it into place. Should pre-drill the nails. And I like to use the nails with a little head on them. This way, if you pre-drill, the nail won't wander off. These nails on the bottom are a little bit short. They should have used the 25mm ones, so I'll put a second nail in. So 25 in the bottom, 38 in the top, or 30mm in the top, 25mm in the bottom bar. And there we have one frame ready assembled. But I don't use nails because it's too slow. That method of assembling takes too long. So I have a little jig. You can find plans for these on YouTube. In the beekeeping book, most beekeeping books will have these. This has got little extension legs on it for making full depth frames. Today we're only going to we're making 3/4 frames, so we'll just take the extensions off. Has little rails that fit in here. These rails are purely to stop the sidebars falling over when I'm assembling it. Some people get all technical and make these into wedges to jam the wood into place and whatever. I don't bother. They just sit there, flop around. That's all okay. But for me, I use air tools to assemble them, and this is my go-to for frames, and most people will have one of this size. And in my case, I put 28mm staples in the bottom bar and 38mm in the top bar. Now, the difference in these staples is in the width. This big fella puts a nice wide staple in, and this little one, the staple ain't anywhere near as wide, although they're the same length. So, and this one's got a nice big air cylinder on it, and it thumps the staples in nice and neatly. So I prefer these ones, but not everyone is going to be able to get one of these guns. These are regularly available from all the tool shops and such like. So I'm going to show you how I assemble some frames. This is a whole box of 100 frames, and we're just going to do the 10 today. So I grab the first bundle of 10 bars, 10 side bars, and when you got them like this, very easy to slap a big lot of glue on. And I make sure that I put a lot of glue on. And I always work and put the bottom bars in first. After we finish making this video, I will go ahead and assemble the rest of these frames. When I'm not making a video, it takes me 5 minutes to make assemble 10 frames. So that's pretty quick. And this is the advantage of having these loose, in the fact that I can manipulate these frames, sidebar frames, so that they are nicely in place, no gaps, and I don't have to worry about them pulling out of the rebates that are made. At this stage I pick up my trusty hammer and I bang them all down into place and bang them all sideways to make sure that they're all in place, and then get glue all over my jersey. When you're using air tools, always put a drop of oil in before you start. I usually put my earmuffs on. This one's got a nice big plate over which fits exactly in the middle of the frame. I now change over to the 38mm staples. Grab my handles and flip the box over. And now we'll put the top bars in. I always like to start putting the bottom bar in first, because the top bar has actually got this rebate here, which actually is with shoulders on both sides of the bar, so it holds the bars in the right place better than the bottom bar. Sometimes they don't always sit in properly. The top bar always fits in the right place. And as you can see with this, I don't have to worry about the sides because they are perfectly in place each time. So, as you can see, it's only taken a couple of minutes to make the bars. So take them out. I have a quick check to make sure that no staples have come out the side, but these are all perfect. And now I throw them in my box, ready for wiring. So that's it for frame assembly. The next video in the line will be wiring frames. Not my most favourite job, but I prefer wood and wax frames, so that's fine. I just want to stress on the importance of gluing the frames. If you glue the frames, they won't come apart. I've seen a lot of people prizing hives apart and the top bar comes off. and I guarantee that they haven't glued the frames in. Only a few seconds extra work, but it makes a far better job. So that's it from Trev and Trevs Bees on Facebook and YouTube. Please remember to subscribe. I'd like to see how many people are following us on YouTube. So we'll catch you around with wiring frames in the next video.